Welcome to another video of the GB Studio, and today I am going to show you how to write an essay. Take a second and pause the video and see what we're going to learn. Imagine this. Besides what's on the slide, you have to write an essay and submit it today, and you panic, obviously. You're not good at writing essays, and you want to get a good grade though. Well, this video is mostly for you. When you start your essay, you want to organize your time. You have to think about, what am I gonna do with this time? Take that thought and split it into a mini schedule. Your mini schedule can look like many different ways, but here's a common one that I like to use. Plotting time. When I start, I always like to plot my main ideas and make them into subtopics. This really helps to plan my story and to manage my time efficiently. This would take about 5 minutes, and you might want to first think about what topic you want to write about though. Writing time. After I plot what I want to do, I write. This is me experimenting with what works and what doesn't work. I don't worry too much and I follow my plan not that closely because I can scrap it if I want to. Revising time. I feel like every kid hates this most, and I think it's mostly because of the fact that you have to read a countless number of times, and each time you have to look for a mistake is, just boring. Teachers always nag us to do it, and I always think that's why we don't like it. I hate to say this, but I'm kind of on the teacher side. I remember one time when I submitted my writing, there was tons and tons of mistakes that I didn't notice before. Now, that was the fact that we read it lots of times and we were not hooked on it. My advice is read your essay and go over it, but not a lot of times. Your max can be 3. Small things. Okay, so you managed your time. Now what? It's time for the smaller parts. Let's start with the question. What are you going to write about? Well, most of us would ponder on and on about that, for we can't find anything to write about. A simple trick to do is just write down anything that comes to mind and make a list. When you're done, you can pick which one you like most and flow with it. This ties in with the stage where you're plotting. Another small thing that ties in with the whole plotting time is, how do you make subtopics? Well, obviously what you are going to write about or the main topic comes into play. What you want to do is take what you're going to write about and think about small topics that go with it. Like, for instance, if I were talking about my circulatory system, then I would have a topic that talks about what the heart does, because the heart has a role and it fits in with the whole circulatory system. The next thing I want to talk about is organizing your story. As you might have guessed, this goes with the plotting time in your schedule. You have your subtopics, and what you want to do is take those subtopics and decide which goes where. Like, I have my heart as my subtopic, and let's say I have blood vessels as a subtopic. I would first talk about the role the heart plays because it's more important than the role blood vessels plays. Okay, so I want to talk about writing clearly and stating your point. Whatever your point is, don't you want to state it clearly? If I am talking about the circulatory system, don't I want to talk about how it works and how it is important for your body? Do I want to talk about how the circulatory system was made and who discovered it if it was not my point? Sure, I could talk about that as additional information, but you may want your teacher to take away something when he or she reads it. Alright, I'll really want to be a big help for those who are virtual and need some help finding reliable resources and certified places to write on virtually. So here is a screen recording to show you those. So I want to show you guys a really good resource that I have always used, and it's all things Google. Well, most of it, like what I'm about to show you, is gonna be Google. Okay, so you probably already know about some of these resources, but to know these, you need to have a Google account. You can just you first have to download Google Chrome, and you can search Google account. Click on the first link and then click create an account. But I have an account, so let me show you if you do have one. Let's go to it straight away. Alright, so first is Google Docs. I have this as a bookmark, but I'm going to search Google Docs. So what you want to do, you want to search Google Docs if you don't have it bookmarked or anything. Or you can go to the waffle cone, as I like to call it, scroll down and click Docs. This is a much easier way, but I have it bookmarked, so let's just make a blank presentation. And here you have it. I love Google Docs because it automatically saves, and you can do so many things. Like you can have a lot of fonts, really cool fonts. You can even add more fonts. The only bummer is that you can't access your downloaded fonts, which I wish would have, but another way you can do is PowerPoint. So if you click blank, it'll lead you to a new Google Slides presentation. There are so many cool themes. You can even download themes and add them. They're pretty cool. You can use Google Slides for like research projects or whatsoever. Another great source is called Macinvia. Oh, this is for schools, by the way. So if you don't have it, your school doesn't have it, then you can't really use it. But my school has it. And if you search Macinvia and click the first link, so it may lead you to this, okay? And it's a school library name. You just type in your school. So you select your school, you type in your user ID. There are some really great resources. So if you click databases, it'll obviously lead you there. You can scroll down and have some really cool resources. And there's another one, and it's called the Book Creator. I don't know how long this will go, but yeah, it's Book Creator. You may have to sign in, or your school may have it, but that's Book Creator, and it's really good because you can create online books, and as you can see, you can even create comic strips. My next one is called PowerPoint. Any app you have downloaded in your computer, such as Word, a pre-installed app in Windows, I have that. You can use that too. It's totally fine if you can't have Google Slides or Google Docs. It's totally fine. Now, PowerPoint, you might need to have a Microsoft account to do this. It's just the same thing as Google Slides, but the only difference is you can view your downloaded fonts, and you can do a lot more, like border your words and all of that. But in the website one, I don't think you can do that because it won't work, and it's so frustrating. But you can download the app, but you have to pay. So I mean, if you want the free versions, or if you want the online one, you can go for that. But the only difference is you don't get fonts, downloaded fonts, and all that. You can even do Word, and I think it's a website one? I don't know. Oh, well, yes, it is. Yeah, it's on Word too. So you can search Word. By the way, you need to have a Microsoft account, and you can do it on Word too. You can even do Google Jamboard. You can click the waffle cone and make a new one. This is a Google Jamboard. So in this, the only difference is you can draw, you can add sticky notes for like notes and stuff. You can add text boxes. So this can all be for like notes and maybe like for research projects and all that. Personally, I'm using this. Yeah, so that's all the resources I have for you guys. Okay, so I decided to make a proper ending that's animated. Thanks for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great day and have fun with these resources. The JB Studio is signing out.